And I think what you're seeing across the country is the equation is very clear. You take a great coach, hardworking coach who's worked his way up there, and certainly coming as a math teacher for Nate Oates and coaching high school, now coming to work his way up here to Buffalo. That's a type of guy, lunch pail guy that you want. And you sprinkle in a senior-laden team, and you have a pretty magic season. And coming up this year, it looks like Buffalo is really a team that, like you said, could be a top 25 team. They have 4 seniors here returning on the starting lineup. You have, of course, C.J. Massenberg, who was tremendous last year, averaging 17 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists per game. You talked about Jeremy Harris as well, another senior, 15.5 points, 6 rebounds, and Nick Perkins, the big man inside, 6'8", 16.6 rebounds. That is going to be the leaders, I think, of this team. And talk about how they're pretty much ready to evolve. They had a lot of experience last year, Kentucky, Arizona, so they're going to fear no one. I think they're going to lead this team. This is a dangerous Buffalo team come, regular season and tournament time.
Yeah, I mean, think about Massenberg and Perkins have won 2 MAC championships in their first 3 years and have been to 2 NCAA tournaments. So, there's a little bit of battle-hardened attitude there with those guys, and they're the leaders of this team, and particularly C.J. Massenberg, again, a guy who was really not recruited by anyone. I think he had a low-level Prairie View A&M or something offer, but, good connections in the coaching world. Somebody tells somebody there's a kid in Texas and pretty good player, and he literally gets the last scholarship to come to Buffalo, and they didn't know what to expect out of him, and he kind of bursts on the scene as a starter and an all-MAC freshman guy, and he's the leader of the team, and he does everything well. He's probably one of the best rebounding guards in the country, and that's just effort. I mean, he's a shooter, he's a scorer, he's their best three-point shooter, but he grabs 6-7 rebounds a game, and you don't do that unless you just are built in to have that kind of effort. Perkins is a really talented big man who can shoot, and he's a matchup problem. What the MAC is it's a guard league on the MAC, and the big guys tend to be just big guys, big sort of plotting, 6'10" guys. And when you can throw a Nick Perkins and get them out of the lane and they have to go out and cover him, that's hard for those guys to do. So that's why Nick has been, such a challenge. And then I mentioned Harris, and then you've got a couple of really good guards returning in Devontae Jordan, who really emerged as a good point guard and defensive stopper last year. And Dante Carruthers was an all MAC Defensive Player of the year before. So those are the core guys that all come back. They only lost one starter and one key player, and that was Wes Clark, who joined the team in midseason last year off of last year's team. And then you throw in 2 of the best recruits this program has ever had. So that's why there doesn't appear to be any drop-off coming this year. And frankly, they might even be better than they were last year.